Hello class, welcome to week 4. You've made it. You are halfway through the course. We've done 4 weeks. You can do this. The hard part is you've figured out the templates, you've figured out how to do the assignments, which are tricky, and things like that. So I wanted to give you some tips, as I like to do, for each week in the class. Now, since we're in week 4, there are still templates available in the supplemental material folder. So there's one for this week. You might not see one for next week, week 5 and week 7, because those are presentations. So you'll be doing a PowerPoint next week, and then in week 7 you'll be doing a speech video. But don't worry, that's something we'll talk about later, and I don't want to overwhelm you too quickly, but that's why there are 2 missing in the supplemental material area. Now, my first big tip for this week is when you're doing the assignment to please answer all the questions in the instructions. For me to grade, I grade off of those instructions and then I use the rubric, and so that's kind of how the grading works. So as long as you answer all the questions and use as much terminology as you can from the textbook, you're going to be golden. Another is to apply what you've learned. I've seen a lot of students, they like to just it's called regurgitate. You just kind of throw what you're learning into the paper and you just write, it's this. Well, that's great, but for this course, Granthams really want you to dive in and really apply it. So instead of telling me what it is, to apply it to the situation, like I saw this, so this I learned goes here. That really helps you to really dive in and really use the material. The next one, the big one for this week, is there is a midterm. Now this midterm, I've been mentioning it each week, is it covers chapters 1 through 4, and it's 11% of the total grade in this course. That's a full letter grade. Now there are 10 multiple choice questions, 10 true and false, and 3 essay questions. Now the midterm is timed. It gives you 2 hours, but as soon as you start the midterm, that timer starts. So on the midterm, again, it's 11% of your total grade, so don't fail to prepare. Since it is timed, you can only take it in one sitting. So on your little blackboard, it'll say you can pause, but that pause is just to let you get out of the exam, like say, hey, you have to go run and do something real quick, or you got to look into your textbook, or you need to leave that site for a second. That's just to pause it. It doesn't stop the timer. So as soon as you start, you have to finish in that 2-hour time frame, which I know can be really tough to figure out. So sometimes you have to wait for when you have all that time, or you won't be interrupted, that kind of things. Because as soon as you start it, I can't let you retake it. That's not something I'm allowed to do. And it's just something to keep in mind for the midterm this week. If you do have any trouble, please reach out to me. I will do my best to help you and figure out what I can do to help. Now for week 4, your coursework, of course, we're reading chapter 4, so I recommend doing that. So reading that, preparing for everything, and then doing your discussion, watching the lectures, review the other week's lectures and your quizzes. Try to remember what you've used and what you've read, and we're going to use that in the midterm. The next one, their assignment is on perception, so of course we're keeping up with that. We're seeing what we're perceiving on other people. This time it's more on the nonverbal, so you'll be watching and studying a situation, talking to someone. It could be with your student advisor, it could be with a significant other, it could be a friend, or someone you just met at the grocery store. It doesn't really matter. The whole point is just to tell me more about the nonverbal. And then of course your midterm. That one's pretty significant, so if you don't have enough time, I know a lot of stuff can go down. Take the midterm when you're ready, and if you do need extra time, to please email me. That way I know that it's late, because the system will be like, hey, they didn't take the midterm. I think you can still take it late, and I can try to squeeze and give you a better time frame. So just let me know, and the big part is just email me. Like every week, if you do have questions, please reach out to me. I really do want to help you in every way I can. The assignments are a little bit tricky, so if you have questions, to reach out to me, because I will do my best to kind of tell it in a different way, because it's kind of a weirdly written course, but that's how it goes. So if you have any questions, reach out to me. Until then, have a great week 4. Bye, everybody.